Imagine you're hiking through a dense, quiet forest, and suddenly you hear it, a loud, shrill scream that's disturbing. And you realize you weren't alone. What would you do? Tonight, we're going to tell you the 6 most chilling stories of real-life encounters that will make your blood run cold. But before we start, I should give you a disclaimer that the final story is extremely haunting. It might have you questioning your safety in places you once thought were peaceful. So buckle up, because this is a journey into the unsettling, starting with one TikToker Goo's haunting experience that he was not ready for. This TikToker man was working on his job site which was on the edge of a thick, remote forest. He's minding his own business when he hears it. Loud screaming. It's not just a yell, but an eerie, gut-wrenching scream coming from deep inside the woods.
Looks shady enough.
The kind of sound that makes your hair stand on end. At first, he figures it might be an animal, but something about it feels off. So he decided to go and check out what was happening there. This forest wasn't supposed to have anyone in it. In fact, it was set to be completely cleared out in 2 days. The area was dense, isolated, and practically inaccessible to most people. So after stepping into the forest, when he notices a bright blue tent tucked among the trees, his stomach drops. Who could possibly be out there? The tent looked out of place, too neat, too deliberate, and then there were the screams. Constant, desperate, as if someone or something was clearly in distress. The man's curiosity and concern got the better of him, and against his better judgment, he decided to check it out. As he walked closer, the forest seemed to grow quieter, as if holding its breath. When he finally reached the tent, a middle-aged man stepped out. He was about 48 years old, clean-cut, well-dressed, not the kind of person you'd expect to see living in a tiny tent in the middle of nowhere.
What's up, bro? You good? You good, bro? Hey, no, don't get up, man. You ain't got to get up. You ain't got to get up. You ain't got to get up.
What's the problem?
Nothing, man. I'm just working right here. I was coming to take a piss, bro.
We're neighbors, right?
Yeah, you're good,
Okay,
bro.
I gotta treat you like my neighbor.
Yeah, you're good, bro. I just was coming to
My
take a
name's
piss.
Eugene Odell.
Adam, man. Adam K.O. Nice to
Okay,
meet you.
good.
Can't shake hands?
Yeah, I love to shake hands
Okay.
with people I know.
Well, I just introduced myself, bro.
Yeah.
You're good, bro. You can chill out here, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Bible tells us to really care about the word of the Lord.
Yeah.
And I can't judge you,
Yeah,
right?
please don't. I wouldn't dare judge you. Hell.
No, you don't have to ask me, please. That's a statement with me. I don't judge people.
Right.
You see?
At first, the guy was polite, even friendly, but the conversation took a strange turn. The man's behavior shifted, growing tense and agitated. The TikToker guy felt something was off. Who was this guy, and why was he out here alone? The whole situation raised every red flag.
Because I thought I was raised to try to be a productive worker.
Yeah.
Right? So I see you got this. You
What
walking around.
Yeah. I was just making sure.
No, I was raised. No, you didn't hear me.
Bro, I gotta go back to
raised
bro.
to
But
be a
check this out.
productive
Look, you're
worker.
yelling at me, bro, and I gotta go back to work. I ain't
Yeah,
been nothing
go
but
ahead,
nice.
Go back to
Okay,
work.
cuz you can get your ass whooped. That's what it is, though, bro. You can, bro. I came out here being nice, bro.
I didn't want you to come out here.
Well, bro, I'm sorry. Bro, I didn't know this was your house. I didn't see your mailbox.
Believe you are who you are.
Okay, bro, believe what you.
After an awkward and heated exchange, the TikToker guy decided it was best to leave. He walked away, but those screams, they didn't stop. If anything, they seemed to echo louder as he left. 2 days later, curiosity got the better of him again. Maybe it was the screams that poked him a lot. So he went back to the same spot again to see if the man and those screams were still there. And what he found? It was straight out of a nightmare.
Nice little setup. Hello. Wait, am I tripping? that is not good. What is that? Yeah, it's pretty creepy. Hello. Oh, hell no. Yeah. I need to get this fuck out of here. I need to get. Oh, oh shit. Ah. Ah.
The blue tent was still there, but this time the vibe was completely different. That man was not there. Rather, scattered near the tent were torn sandals, like someone had been there recently but never left. And then he noticed some strange markings on the tent itself, symbols drawn in what looked like circles, pentagrams, and other ritualistic designs. It was like something out of a horror movie. Nearby, there was an axe casually leaned against a tree, as if it was just used a while ago. But it wasn't just any axe. It was stained with blood. Heart pounding, the man peeked inside the tent, and that's when things went from creepy to horrifying. Inside was a blood-soaked mattress, a bucket smeared with stains, and piles of clothes all splattered with what he could only assume was blood. There was even a long-handled hammer, also bloodied. The realization hit him like a ton of bricks. This wasn't just some weirdo camping out in the woods. This was something much darker. The screams, the blood, the symbols, it all pointed to the terrifying possibility that the man in the tent had been involved in some kind of ritual, or worse. Too scared to stick around, the TikToker guy ran out of the forest as fast as he could. To this day, he can't shake the memory of what he saw, or the chilling screams that started it all. What do you think was going on there? What would you have done in his shoes? In this video, the host of the Hogget Project planned on camping out at this new spot in the mountains.
Back out here in the mountains, and I'm thinking of going up to the top there, having a look. If that doesn't work, back in here looks like it's flattening out. Made it to the top. It's a nice creek that comes through here, and you can have a look-see all the way down the pipeline.
It was supposed to be a chill, peaceful night under the stars, but things didn't exactly go as planned.
A little level spot here to pitch a tent, and there's some trees to hang a tarp, and we're just gonna kind of explore the area, see what else is around here. It would appear that the very first spot we found, ironically, turns out to be the best one.
At first, he found a pretty nice spot to set up his tent. It was tucked away in the trees, super quiet, and the soil was perfect. But as he's setting up, he spots a footprint in the dirt. Not a huge deal, just an animal, maybe a deer or something. But still, it made him a little uneasy. But he brushes it off, gets his tent all set up, and starts unpacking.
There we go. And as you can see, I'm still working on getting this tarp up. Trees are kind of in an odd formation. I'm also realizing this is not just a square tarp, but should be able to figure out something. This is what I came up with. As you can see, it's sloping with the hill. It's getting pretty dark, so we've got this set up just in time. Now let's get everything else going. Not so sure the incense worked. Scare off the bugs. But it does smell nice. This could be where I just hang out. Oh, this ground is soft. That might pose a problem.
As it gets darker, he decides to start a bonfire. But once it got dark, that's when things took a creepy turn.
I kind of like how it's open out that way too. Lets a little bit of light into these woods. That way, cannot see a thing. And I don't think I was recording earlier, but something made a heavy sound over there. Could have just been some old rotted logs settling. But up that way, a couple miles, there is a camp, but I don't think anybody's hiking this way back down. Anywho, I've heard that the red lamp keeps the bugs away.
The guy started hearing strange noises, branches snapping and these heavy thuds all around him. At first, he thought it was just animals or maybe the wind, but the sounds kept getting louder and more frequent. It started to feel like something or someone was out there, watching him. And then he starts hearing more weird sounds. At first, it's just some random branches cracking in the distance, but it keeps happening. It's like whatever is out there is getting closer, moving around him. And honestly, this is a frightening feeling.
Definitely something over there.
Documenting my experience and why I'm leaving. It's basically, it was all set up, it was getting dark, I had just gathered all the firewood. I had run back to the vehicle to grab my Carhartt jacket. Right about that time, as I sit down, I hear some noise. And I thought that my keys have hit the chair a certain way. And as I'm thinking about it, I'm about to go about my business, then I hear behind me where the creek is, about only 50 feet, I hear a couple more loud crunches. And that's when I stand up and I just shine the forest. Of course the noise has stopped, and I'm guessing whoever it was, it found a good spot to lay low. I didn't see any eyes glowing back, didn't see any movement, other than I did see a bat. But definitely that is not what made the loud noises. In all this, I probably shined the light on the forest for a good 3 to 4 solid minutes. Nothing. And I said, okay, and I'm thinking I'll go back to just doing what I'm doing. But this is the second occurrence. Probably about a half an hour before that, I heard it up the hill. This time it's down parallel with me. I scouted the woods when it was daytime, just so I can get a good idea of what's around me. It's not really easy terrain to maneuver in. And anywho, I sat there for a minute and I was just thinking, okay, do I go ahead with the fire? And I was like, I'm not scared right now, but I'm also thinking maybe I'm too close to the stream. That's gonna attract animals coming to get a drink. All that said, I decided to pack up camp. I was like, I don't know if I'll have fun now. Then the other went out here and it was really dark back in these woods. Getting all packed up, and once I get out to the road, I just take a quick look up towards where the creek is, and this is where it gets terrifying. And I thought I had pressed record, but it was not recording. But anywho, I've got my low...
So he grabs his torch and starts walking toward the noise, trying to figure out what's going on. Now, most of us would probably stay put, maybe even run back to the car, but this guy is gutsy. So he heads off, following the sound deeper into the trees. At first, it's just more darkness and more trees, nothing unusual. But then, he gets this feeling that something's not quite right, like there's something really out there, hiding in the shadows, watching him. Now here's where it gets really creepy. He thought he saw something over by the creek, so he shined his high beam torch over there to get a better look. And there it was, standing on the side of the road. It was like a statue, frozen in place, blending in with the surroundings. But as he looked closer, he realized it wasn't a statue. It looked like a person, dressed in camouflage, standing perfectly still, trying to stay hidden. He could just make out the figure. It was about 6 feet tall, and the way it was standing made it seem like it was trying to blend into the environment. Now, I don't know about you, but that would definitely freak me out. He shines his light on it for about 20 seconds, just trying to make sense of what he's seeing. But no matter how hard he looked, it didn't move. The guy starts to feel this wave of fear hit him. This is no ordinary camping experience. What the heck is that thing? He starts thinking about calling out to it, maybe asking what's going on, but he just can't bring himself to do it. He was so frozen in fear that he only hoped whatever it's didn't notice him. So being panicked, he decides he's going to get out of there. More shockingly, just the moment he looks back at the figure one last time, it's gone. Now that's when the real panic sets in. It wasn't a statue at all. What if it wasn't even a person just standing still? It was something else entirely. He thought about calling it a night, packing up and getting out of there. At this point, it's pretty obvious that whatever was out there wasn't just some random person. It had some bad vibes to it, something dark and sinister. The man decided the safest option was to leave. He quickly packed everything up, grabbed his gear, and took off. Would you stick around if you were in his place? Or would you be out of there as fast as possible? Either way, camping in the woods is definitely not as peaceful as it seems. This is Chris, the guy behind the YouTube channel Omega. For over 10 years, Chris has been hooking viewers with his gutsy adventures, exploring some of the creepiest, most haunted places imaginable. But this is one of his most unnerving experiences, something that shook even this fearless explorer to his core. It all went down on May 7th, 2019. It started like any other day. Chris packed his gear, called his loyal dog Max, and set off to the Owl Mountains in Poland. His mission? Spend the night inside the Nazis' longest abandoned train tunnel.
Seemed like forever since I've done one of these. According to the GPS, we're coming very close to Spooner's Tunnel now. I think it's just down at the bottom of this hill here. I'm actually quite anxious about doing this overnight challenge. You know, it's a dark, creepy, really long tunnel, and you know, I don't know what kind of people are going to be up here. So yeah, the nerves are just starting to kick in now, especially being alone. Okay, here we are here. The only person I have with me is Max. You know, man's best friend and everything. Oh man, look at that. There's a vehicle over there that's burnt out too. Oh man, look at it. Hope it's not a popular spot for people to...
This wasn't just any old tunnel. It was part of a secret military project from World War II. The Nazis had planned to build a massive underground base there, but construction was never finished. Thousands of forced laborers died digging those tunnels, and even today, the place carries the weight of its grim history. Historians and adventurers are drawn to it, but let's be real, it's not the kind of spot you'd pick for a relaxing night out. Chris isn't new to creepy adventures. He's been to his fair share of haunted houses and eerie ruins, but something about this place felt different.
The nerves are really starting to kick in now. What? I want to be spending a night in this thing. Oh no. I don't know about this, guys. What the frick? Oh no.
As he hiked toward the tunnel's entrance, the uneasiness began to creep in. You know that gut feeling, the one that whispers, maybe this isn't such a great idea. But Chris pressed on. After all, this is what he does.
I think the thing that I'm mostly worried about is people coming up here. I mean, you don't know what kind of people come up here. I don't see any visible signs of like tagging or anything on the outside piece of the tunnel. But you just don't know. You don't know what kind of people are gonna come up and hang out in this tunnel, you know, in the night. And it is a Friday night here, So yeah, there could be anyone coming up.
When he got to the entrance, the vibe went from unsettling to downright chilling. Sitting nearby was an old burnt-out vehicle, its charred remains adding to the already eerie atmosphere. Max, his dog, seemed restless, pacing around like he could sense something wasn't quite right. Still, Chris pushed forward, determined to document the experience. The tunnel swallowed him up, its walls damp and cold. The silence in there wasn't just quiet, it was thick. Chris paused to take it all in, shining his flashlight into the abyss.
We're getting to the stage where I'm getting extremely tired, but we're gonna keep pushing, and we'll do a walk through the tunnel soon. It's like the eerie silence is just getting to me at this point, and I'm hearing things left, right and center, trust me. Maybe we can wander down a bit of the way to see what we may find.
Turning off the light, he demonstrated just how pitch black it was. No moonlight, no faint glow from the outside, just pure, suffocating darkness. Things started getting weird pretty quickly.
Creepy, actually. There's like nothing. It's like dead silence. Max. Sorry, I gotta turn the light back on. There he is. I'll say it's really strange without the lights on. It's weird, man. Like, you're underground in the middle of nowhere. It's strange. You don't know what you're gonna find down here. I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, if you look down there, like, that's how far we are away from the entrance that we came in. Like, it's pretty far.
An unsettling feeling washes over him as the darkness surrounds him. He can't see a thing, making the exploration even creepier. Little did he know, this was nothing compared to what he was about to experience. As the night wore on, Chris's camera battery died, so he decided to head back to his campsite, hoping for a few hours of rest.
My main camera has died, the battery's absolutely shot, and I've also managed to bust the microphone on my main camera too, which I'm using on this camera. It's about 3-4 in the morning. I feel extremely tired, and I don't feel like I'm on this planet right now. I honestly keep hearing things, it's ridiculous, I don't know.
He lies.
As he ventured deeper, the air grew heavy, and strange noises began echoing through the tunnel. Chris paused, listening. The sounds weren't natural. Definitely not something you'd expect in a deserted tunnel. A distant tapping, maybe footsteps? He couldn't pin it down, but every hair on his body was standing on end. Hours ticked by, and Chris kept exploring, even as the tension mounted. His camera battery died unexpectedly. Then his microphone broke. Coincidences? Maybe, or maybe not. By the time 3 or 4 a.m. rolled around, exhaustion was hitting hard. Chris set up a spot to rest, but he just couldn't sleep in such a terrible place. The silence felt oppressive, and the sense of being watched was impossible to shake. And that's when it happened. From deep within the tunnel came a noise, a faint beeping.
Tripod. I hear some sort of tune. Max, come here. Come here. Oh, shit. Max. Who's that? Who's that, Max? What the actual? Can you guys hear that? Oh. Max.
Chris froze. Beeping sound in an abandoned tunnel in the dead of night just didn't make sense. Max wasn't helping either. The usually brave dog was on edge, his ears pinned back, growling softly. Meanwhile, the noise grew louder and closer. Chris's heart was pounding now. He shouted into the darkness to get some response, but only his voice came echoing back at him. And then he saw it.
I don't know if you guys can hear this on the camera, but there's something. What is that? What the? Hello? What is that? Max, what is that? Hello? Is there somebody here? That's just creepy as... What the hell? Is anyone here? What is that? Oh! Max! Hurry up! Max! Max! Oh!
A man just standing there, not moving, not saying a word. Chris's flashlight illuminated the figure, motionless, eerily calm. Chris completely froze in fear. Once again, he called out, trying to sound braver than he felt. But the man didn't respond, didn't flinch, just stood there. Chris tried to see his face but couldn't. It gives me a feeling, was it even a human or something else? But Chris knew it was his cue to leave this place as soon as possible. He grabbed Max and ran for his life. He didn't stop until he was outside, gasping for air. Even then, he didn't feel safe.
Inside the tunnel now, and I don't have any intention of going back in there. That was just strange beyond belief. Chill, I got the chill personality. I usually not a whole lot affects me, but that was just getting a little bit too much, honestly.
But seriously, who was the man? Had he been following Chris the whole time? Was he dangerous? Or does the man live inside the tunnel? Also, is it ever possible to live inside such a tunnel? What do you think? Chris never went back to that tunnel to find the answers, because some places are better left alone. Angelo, the brave YouTuber from Exploring with Angelo, is known for his spine-tingling adventures in haunted forests and creepy abandoned places. He's faced ghosts, strange noises, and mysterious occurrences on countless occasions. But on August 5th, 2023, he had an experience that he'll never forget, and one that took a terrifying turn in ways he wasn't prepared for. It all started as a calm evening, with the sun hanging low in the sky on a warm summer night. Angelo, ever the thrill seeker, decided to venture into a forest known for its weird, spooky happenings. It wasn't his first time there, but it was the first time he dared to go in alone after dark. Most people wouldn't even think about it, but Angelo wasn't most people.
I heard something. Okay. Probably just a squirrel. Or trash.
This particular forest was famous for its ghostly legends, and the last time Angelo had visited, he'd actually made contact with the spirits said to haunt the place. But this time, he was about to come across something far worse than any ghost or haunting he'd encountered before. As Angelo walked deeper into the forest, and the woods quickly became darker and eerier. Every little rustle in the bushes or crack of a twig felt like it was amplified in the silence of the forest. He brushed off the strange noises, convincing himself they were just the usual sounds of animals moving around. Little did he know, something or someone was hiding just beyond his sight. At first, his exploration seemed like it was going to be just another quiet night. But then, off in the distance, he spotted something strange. A small wooden structure. It looked like a makeshift teepee, and Angelo's curiosity got the best of him. As he walked closer, he noticed a figure sitting silently inside. Angelo assumed the person would just ignore him and go about their business. But as he got closer, the figure jumped up and bolted into the forest, disappearing into the trees. Feeling confused but intrigued, Angelo approached the shelter, only to find something left behind near it. And this is where things really took a dark turn.
Well, I don't know where he went, where they went, I don't know. What in the hell?
Suddenly, a deep, guttural growl echoed from the direction the stranger had just fled. Angelo's heart started racing as the growl seemed to suggest that the man had been watching him the whole time. But Angelo wasn't the type to back down, and he decided to follow the sound to figure out who this mysterious figure was. He wasn't prepared for what he found next. There once again was the man, standing still and staring at him from a distance.
Oh, geez, he's right there.
The figure made no move, but Angelo felt a chilling sense of unease wash over him. Without thinking, he rushed in the opposite direction, his mind racing with questions. Was this person dangerous? Was he even in his right mind? Angelo didn't know, but he wasn't about to find out.
So I had to go in total darkness. I grabbed my night vision camera. This guy is coming back. I can literally see him from here. What the hell?
As Angelo sat in the pitch-black forest trying to stay hidden, he switched off his flashlight and relied on his night vision camera to see what was happening around him. That's when he saw the man again, moving through the woods, his movements slow and erratic, like he was searching for something or someone. To make matters worse, the guy was holding an axe, and the sight of it made Angelo's stomach drop.
Let's go back to the TP.
Angelo could hear the man getting closer. He knew he couldn't just sit there any longer. The leaves and branches on the ground were too noisy, and at any moment, the man could spot him. Angelo's instincts kicked in, and he knew he had to make a run for it before things got worse. In a flash, he sprinted out of the woods, the branches slapping against his face and cutting his skin as he ran.
What the f?
But he didn't care. Anything was better than facing the man with the axe. He didn't look back, not even once, until he reached the safety of his car. But the man seemed to be following him. Angelo didn't stop running. He pushed forward, adrenaline pumping, until he finally reached his car. It wasn't until he was inside, the door slammed shut, and the engine roaring to life, that he allowed himself a moment to breathe.
What the f? Oh crap. Wait. There's no way. Where's my knife? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Alright guys, so I had to catch my breath there for a second. That was really strange. I don't know who that person was, but
As he drove away from the forest, the events of the night haunted him. Who was that man, and what did he want? Angelo would never know the answers, but one thing was for sure. He wasn't going back to that forest alone. That night, the mystery of the man with the axe stayed with Angelo long after he had left the woods behind. Meet Lee, the TikToker behind Worm Watson. If you're on TikTok, you might know him for his chill, mesmerizing bike ride videos. He's the guy who takes you along on scenic trails, gliding through dense forests, with nothing but the sound of his engine and nature's whispers. But this one particular ride, it wasn't relaxing at all. Rather, it was a nightmare. It started as a regular day for Lee. He's out on his motorbike, exploring some remote forest trails, guided by trusty old Google Maps. The ride starts out as it always does, smooth, peaceful, and a bit like a dream. But the deeper he goes into the woods, the more things start to go wrong. First, his Google Maps app starts acting up. It glitches like it's been possessed, refusing to load properly.
I keep spinning around and it's not showing me. I think I'm like... Oh, that was weird. Come on. Okay, now it's working. Fucking dead end. Hey! You better not be following me, dude. Okay. I'm gonna get out of here.
All good. All good. All good.
Lee's left riding in circles, trying to figure out where the heck he's supposed to go. Frustrated, he pulls over, thinking a quick app restart will fix everything. That's when the vibes shift. Lee's fiddling with his phone when he catches sight of something, or someone, just off the trail. At first, it doesn't fully register, but then he looks again, and there's no mistaking it. A man, standing in the shadows, holding an axe. Yup, you saw that right. An axe. The guy isn't just standing there either. He's methodically chopping at a tree, the sound of his swings faint but steady. It's not the axe itself that unsettles Lee, though. It's the man's whole vibe. He acts like he is a serial killer lurking in the woods with axe. Lee feels it in his gut. This is not good. Something about the guy screams unpredictability, maybe even danger. Wasting no time, Lee makes the call. Time to get out of there. He revs up his motorbike and takes off, putting as much distance as possible between him and the mysterious figure. But just when Lee thinks he's in the clear, he hits a dead end. The trail ahead is blocked. Trees, shrubs, the works. He has no choice but to turn around, meaning he'll have to pass the Axeman again. Heart racing, Lee grips the handlebars and steels himself. There's no way he's stopping or slowing down. As soon as he spots the man in the distance, Lee guns it. His engine roars as he zooms past, the air thick with tension. He doesn't dare look back, not even for a second. Once he's out of the woods, literally, Lee finally breathes again. But it's short-lived. His mind keeps replaying the scene. The man, the axe, the way the shadows seem to swallow him whole. Later, Lee uploads the video of his ride to TikTok. The comments section, flooded with concerned viewers. People are asking all sorts of questions. Who was that guy? What was he doing in the middle of nowhere? Was he just a harmless lumberjack, or did Lee narrowly dodge a much darker fate? Lee admits in the video that he has no answers. He doesn't know who the man was, and thankfully, he's never seen him again. But the experience left him with a harsh truth. Even the most peaceful places can hide danger. So the next time you're out on a quiet, serene bike ride, or anything else that feels perfectly normal, just remember Lee's story, because you never know when the calm might break and your world might take a turn into the eerie unknown. Now get ready for the last one, because this one will send chills down your spine. These three explorers, who love poking around places nobody's been in ages, decided to check out this creepy abandoned asylum in Canada. Beneath it was this old, forgotten tunnel, dark as a cave and just as suffocating. Armed with flashlights and cameras, they made their way in, the silence so thick it felt like the air was pressing down on them. Everything was going fine until Matt, one of the members of the group, suddenly disappeared. 1 second he's right there, and the next, gone.
Matt? Oh, I told you he's sick, he needed to take a breather. Matt! Following us? Why is he? I swear behind me 5 seconds ago when he was there. You need to stop playing around, man. Matt! Oh, he's freaking us out. Just go, take the right hand turn.
Just like that, his friends, understandably freaking out, start shouting his name, their voices echoing off the damp, crumbling walls. But no sign of Matt. It's like he was swallowed by the darkness itself. And here's where things get even weirder. While they're searching, the camera picks up something truly chilling. Off in the distance, barely visible in the faint glow of their flashlights, is this figure. It's just standing there, motionless, dressed in what looks like an old hospital gown. The uploader of the video later suggests it might be the ghost of a patient who used to live and maybe died in that asylum, trapped there forever, haunting anyone daring to trespass. But here's the kicker. Some people who saw the video started saying, wait a second, this might not even be in Canada. It looks a lot like the abandoned Anoka Insane Asylum in Minnesota. So now, the whole thing is a mystery. Nobody knows who originally shot the footage or if any of it's legit. The uploader begged viewers to help him with any lead because Matt never returned. But so far, nobody has come up with any lead yet. Anyway, real or not, one thing's for sure. Matt's vanishing act and that ghostly figure, they've got people double-checking their locks at night. And if you ever find yourself in a tunnel under an old asylum, maybe think twice about going in. And that's it for the day. The next video is waiting for you with more chills.